based on the true story of Jackie Robinson. In 1945, World War II finally came to an end. Germany had fallen, and just 3 months later, Japan surrendered as well. People everywhere were relieved, because it meant their loved ones could finally return home. Life slowly started going back to normal, including professional baseball in America, which resumed its regular season once again. But in America, normal still meant a country controlled by white society. Black people were still forced to live under racist rules and segregation. Baseball was the most popular sport in the country at the time, and all 400 professional league players were white. That would only last for 2 more years. By 1947, that number would become 399 after one black player finally broke into professional baseball for the very first time. It all started in 1945 when Branch Rickey, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, came up with the idea of signing a black player. His assistant warned him about the backlash they would face, but Rickey already understood the risks. To him, money was green, not black or white. There was no official rule in baseball preventing black athletes from joining the league, and black communities in New York were huge baseball fans. Rickey saw a massive opportunity, even though he still had not decided who the player would be. Out of several candidates, his attention eventually landed on Jackie Robinson, a talented player from the Kansas City Monarchs. Jackie was a UCLA graduate with excellent athletic ability and impressive stats. He also had a reputation for having a hot temper, but Rickey saw something deeper in him. He believed Jackie had the strength and courage needed for what was coming, and he wanted him on the team as soon as possible. A Dodgers scout eventually found Jackie at a gas station where the Monarchs team had stopped to rest. At the time, Jackie was arguing with the station owner after being denied access to the restroom because of his race. So when the scout suddenly told him that the owner of the Dodgers wanted to meet him, Jackie could hardly believe it. When Jackie finally arrived at the Dodgers office, the first thing Rickey talked about was emotional control. He warned Jackie about everything he would face if he joined the league: being ignored at restaurants, rejected by hotels, mocked by crowds, and treated horribly almost everywhere he went. Branch Rickey believed Jackie was worth the risk, as long as he could completely control his emotions. Knowing his name could soon stand alongside the biggest stars in American baseball, Jackie agreed to endure whatever came his way in order to join the Brooklyn Dodgers. The game was about to change forever. This is 42. Not long after that, Jackie immediately called his girlfriend back in Pasadena, California. He understood that his life was about to change forever, so he wasted no time. He proposed to Rachel, and before long, the two of them were married. Jackie wanted to settle everything before spring training began. Soon, the couple prepared to travel to Daytona and officially join the team. But the discrimination started almost immediately. During a stop in New Orleans, Jackie and his wife were thrown off their flight simply because an airline employee saw Rachel using a restroom reserved for white people. With no other choice, the couple had to continue the trip by bus, traveling overnight all the way to Daytona. Meanwhile, Branch Rickey assigned a black journalist named Wendell Smith to stay close to Jackie and help him through the process. Wendell escorted the Robinsons to their lodging, but unlike the other Dodgers players staying at hotels downtown, Jackie and Rachel were placed in a black family's home on the outskirts of the city. Soon after, the Dodgers prepared for an exhibition game against the Montreal Royals, a minor league team that also belonged to Rickey. The Dodgers owner personally came to observe both teams and introduced Jackie to Montreal's coaching staff. Before officially moving forward, Jackie would first be tested against the Dodgers themselves. But even there, racism followed him. The moment Rickey heard racist remarks coming from Montreal's coach, he immediately threatened to fire him if Jackie was not treated fairly. The next day, when the exhibition game between Brooklyn and Montreal finally began, Jackie stepped onto the field surrounded by boos from the crowd. Several Dodgers players tried to break his focus and shake his confidence. One player even threw reckless pitches at him on purpose, but Jackie refused to react. Instead of losing control, he stayed calm and let them do whatever they wanted. The game continued, and the harassment toward Jackie Robinson only got worse. Players kept trying to bully him and throw him off mentally, but Jackie refused to let it affect him. Instead, he started outsmarting his opponents, frustrating them so badly that they eventually made mistakes themselves. In the end, Jackie easily scored the point. His performance immediately lifted the spirits of the black fans in attendance, while at the same time making many white spectators even angrier. That night, things escalated again. While Jackie was staying at the boarding house, an elderly white man suddenly showed up asking for him. Wendell Smith immediately became cautious and tried to stop the man from entering the house. The man loudly demanded that Jackie leave the neighborhood immediately. He warned that if Jackie stayed any longer, other white residents would come and force him out themselves. Wendell quickly contacted Branch Rickey, and Rickey immediately ordered him to move Jackie out of there that very night. Jackie was already irritated after suddenly being told he had to leave in the middle of the night without explanation. As they drove through town, another car suddenly sped past them and stopped right in front of their vehicle. Several white men stepped out and approached them suspiciously. Wendell immediately slammed on the gas and got them out of there as fast as possible. Jackie still had no idea what was happening and was confused by Wendell's panic. Only afterward did Wendell explain that they had received threats from local white residents, which was why they had to relocate immediately. Surprisingly, Jackie actually laughed after hearing the story. He thought the sudden move meant he was about to be signed by the Montreal Royals. Later, while playing another exhibition game in Florida with Montreal, Jackie completely dominated the opposing team. But the more successful he became, the more hostile people around him grew. Local police eventually arrived and ordered Jackie to stop playing, simply because they could not stand seeing a black player humiliating white opponents on the field. At first, Jackie wanted to resist, but his coach stopped him before things escalated. In the end, they had no choice but to obey the authorities. Even with all the pressure and discrimination surrounding him, Jackie kept performing brilliantly in every game. Eventually, Branch Rickey officially placed him on the Montreal Royals roster, and Jackie was set to travel with the team for the league opener in Atlanta. On April 18, 1946, Jackie Robinson officially made his minor league debut with the Montreal Royals. It was an incredible start for Jackie. From the very beginning, he looked dominant on the field and quickly proved he belonged there. 8 months later, the season finally came to an end. By then, Jackie and Rachel had also welcomed their first child, making that year even more meaningful after everything they had gone through together. But there was no time to slow down. As preparations for the next baseball season began, Branch Rickey contacted the manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers to discuss Jackie's future. After seeing how successful Jackie had been in the minor leagues, Rickey wanted to promote him to the Dodgers roster. Fortunately for Jackie, manager Leo Durocher did not care about skin color. As far as he was concerned, anyone who could help the team win deserved a spot on the roster. So Jackie was sent to Panama to join the Dodgers during spring training. But while the owner and manager supported him, not everyone on the team felt the same way. Several Dodgers players strongly opposed Jackie's arrival and even organized a petition, demanding that no black player be allowed to join the team. At the same time, Jackie was kept separate from the rest of the squad for a while because he needed special training at first base. His natural position, second base, was already occupied by the team's star player, Pee Wee Reese. So while Jackie focused on learning his new position, other players were busy collecting signatures for the protest letter. Some players signed it while others refused. Interestingly, Pee Wee Reese was one of the players who chose not to sign. He believed Jackie deserved a fair chance to prove himself. If Jackie truly had the talent to help the team win, then Pee Wee had no problem accepting him, even if it meant risking his own position. In the end, the petition was still delivered to Branch Rickey. Rickey immediately contacted Leo Durocher, who gathered the players late at night and made things very clear. Anyone who refused to accept Jackie Robinson could leave. Durocher did not care about their personal opinions. They were expected to welcome Jackie as a teammate, and if anyone still disagreed, they could take it up directly with the owner. And Rickey wasted no time backing that up. Players who continued refusing Jackie's arrival were immediately placed on the transfer list. Still, more obstacles continued to appear. One day, officials from the American Baseball Committee contacted Rickey with bad news. Because Leo Durocher was involved in a scandal involving a woman outside of marriage, the league decided to suspend him for the entire season. No matter what happened, it felt like people were constantly trying to make Jackie Robinson fail, whether by targeting him directly or weakening the Dodgers organization around him. With Durocher gone, the Dodgers suddenly struggled to find a replacement manager. The season was getting closer, but every candidate Rickey approached turned down the offer. Even so, Branch Rickey refused to back down. Instead of hiding from the pressure, he publicly revealed the signing of Jackie Robinson, making it clear to the entire country that the Dodgers were moving forward no matter what opposition stood in their way. April 15, 1947 finally arrived, opening day for the American baseball season. That day, Jackie Robinson walked into the Brooklyn Dodgers locker room as the only black player surrounded by white teammates. A few players and staff members tried to welcome him, even though the team still had not prepared a proper locker for him yet. All Jackie had was a small clothing rack in the corner. But one thing was already waiting for him: his jersey with the number 42 on the back. The moment Jackie entered the stadium, every kind of reaction came crashing down at once. Black fans proudly cheered for him. Many white spectators shouted for him to get off the field, and reporters immediately swarmed around him as the biggest story in sports. Unfortunately, the game itself ended badly for the Dodgers. Without a manager leading the team, they struggled throughout the match, while racist officiating seemed to favor the opposing side. Running out of options, Branch Rickey eventually turned to an older coach named Bert Schotten, who had already been retired from baseball for 2 years. At first, Schotten refused because he had promised his wife he was finally done with the pressure of the sport. But after seeing how desperate Rickey's situation had become, he agreed to return and help the team. With a manager finally back in charge, the Dodgers immediately started playing better. Jackie also silenced many of his critics after hitting a home run and proving he could compete at the highest level. But the next series against the Philadelphia Phillies became one of the darkest moments of Jackie's career. As Jackie stepped up to the plate, Phillies manager Ben Chapman began screaming racist insults directly at him. First, Chapman mocked Jackie with animal comparisons, then continued shouting racial slurs over and over again until everyone nearby started paying attention. Things got even worse when the Phillies pitcher deliberately threw the ball straight at Jackie's face. Chapman kept yelling insults from the dugout, while another pitch came dangerously close to Jackie's head again. Jackie managed to connect with the third pitch, but the ball was quickly caught by the opposing team, stopping him from reaching second base. Later in the game, Jackie returned for another at-bat, but Chapman started attacking him again. This time, the insults crossed an even uglier line as he began mocking Jackie's wife and making disgusting comments about the wives of other Dodgers players as well. For the first time, Jackie visibly started losing focus. His next hit floated harmlessly into the air without traveling far, and once again, he failed to make the play. As Jackie Robinson walked away from the field, Ben Chapman kept shouting insults at him nonstop. Jackie was furious, and if he had lost control for even a second, he probably would have smashed Chapman with a baseball bat right there. Instead, Jackie stormed into the stadium tunnel and took his anger out on the wall. He hit it over and over until the bat itself was nearly destroyed. For a moment, Jackie felt completely defeated. All the pressure, humiliation, and hatred had finally pushed him to his limit. That was when Branch Rickey came to calm him down. Rickey reminded Jackie that the team needed him, and that the only way to truly beat his enemies was not by fighting them physically, but by defeating them through his performance on the field. After finally regaining control of himself, Jackie asked for a new bat and returned to the game. The moment he stepped back up to the plate, Chapman immediately started hurling insults again. But this time, the behavior had become too much even for the people around them. One of Jackie's teammates, Eddie Stanky, finally had enough. He stormed out of the dugout and confronted Chapman directly, challenging the Phillies manager for constantly attacking someone who could not fight back without risking everything. The two men exploded into a heated argument before the umpire eventually stepped in and ordered Stanky back to the dugout. For Jackie, that moment meant a lot. For the first time, he felt openly defended by one of his own teammates, and it immediately lifted his spirits. When play resumed, Jackie managed to push through the pressure and safely reached first base.
Here's the pitch. And Jack Cote.
After the game, Chapman faced heavy criticism from reporters over the way he had treated Jackie on the field. But Chapman brushed the entire incident off casually, acting as if it had all been harmless joking that people were exaggerating. Meanwhile, Jackie was still trying to calm himself emotionally. He reminded himself that he had not come there to make friends. People could hate him all they wanted, but he refused to let them see him break, even though that day he had come dangerously close. Ironically, the incident actually started changing public opinion. Many people who once opposed Jackie began feeling sympathy for him after witnessing the abuse he endured. Even Harold, one of Branch Rickey's assistants who had originally doubted Jackie's presence on the team, slowly changed his attitude. As for Rickey, he almost felt grateful toward Ben Chapman. Chapman's cruelty had unintentionally revealed Jackie to the public as exactly what he truly was: a real victim of racism, not someone pretending to be one. Not long afterward, one player who had opposed Jackie suddenly asked to leave the team, while another player who still refused to accept him was quickly traded away by Ricky to a much smaller club. Sometime later, the Brooklyn Dodgers traveled to Philadelphia for another away game against the Philadelphia Phillies. But another major incident quickly unfolded. That day, the Dodgers arrived at the Ben Franklin Hotel, the same hotel the team had been using for the past 10 years. But this time, the staff suddenly refused to let them stay there. The argument became so heated that the hotel director personally came down to confirm the decision. The boycott was not aimed only at Jackie Robinson anymore. The entire Dodgers team was now being rejected because of him. The situation immediately frustrated several players. One of the more openly racist players, Dixie Walker, blamed Jackie for everything and demanded that he apologize because the team was now being treated badly because of his presence. That quickly sparked tension inside the clubhouse, since Jackie obviously refused to become the scapegoat for the situation. At the same time, manager Bert Schotten was also arguing furiously with the hotel director. But strangely enough, the game itself was no longer the biggest issue. The real problem was the growing media attention surrounding the Phillies organization, which was now being labeled by many people as the most racist team in America. The owner of the Phillies became increasingly uncomfortable with the negative headlines and finally called in Ben Chapman, the man responsible for most of the controversy. Chapman was pressured to calm the situation down immediately. So before the next game began, Chapman approached Jackie and proposed a public photo together in front of reporters as a fake peace gesture. At first, Jackie wanted nothing to do with it. He understood that Chapman was only trying to save face in front of the media. But eventually, Jackie realized something important. Public opinion mattered more than whatever private motives Chapman had behind the scenes. In the end, the two men posed for the cameras together, while both holding the same baseball bat, carefully avoiding direct physical contact with each other. Then in May 1947, the Dodgers traveled to Pittsburgh for another road game. During the match, Jackie stepped up to bat, while the opposing pitcher, Fritz Ostermuller, prepared to throw. But instead of pitching toward the strike zone, Ostermuller deliberately fired the ball straight at Jackie's face. The impact instantly knocked Jackie to the ground before he even had a chance to react. That moment pushed the Dodgers players over the edge. Furious at what had happened, Jackie's teammates rushed onto the field and attacked the pitcher directly. Within seconds, a massive fight broke out on the field, once again turning Jackie Robinson into the center of another ugly act of racism and violence. Before another away game in Cincinnati, it was Pee Wee Reese who finally went to speak with Branch Rickey. Pee Wee had received threatening letters from angry fans who were furious that he continued supporting Jackie Robinson. Since Pee Wee came from that region himself, he had now become a target too. In response, Rickey opened a cabinet and pulled out 2 thick folders filled with hate mail sent to the Brooklyn Dodgers. The letters contained insults, death threats, and all kinds of horrifying messages, far worse than anything Pee Wee had received. Rickey simply told him that the world was changing, and people like them would have to get used to those changes whether others liked it or not. Then came the famous game in Cincinnati. As the Dodgers warmed up before the match, the crowd loudly applauded Pee Wee Reese while booing Jackie Robinson at the same time. Seeing that reaction, Pee Wee immediately walked straight toward Jackie. Instead of keeping his distance, he put his arm around his teammate in front of everyone. At that moment, Pee Wee wanted his family and the entire crowd to see exactly where he stood. He had chosen to stand on the side of change. Later in the season, the Dodgers faced the St. Louis Cardinals in an important game that would affect the National League standings. Cardinals star Enos Slaughter stepped up to bat and managed to hit the ball, but Jackie successfully caught it.
Slaughter hits a hot ground ball right at Reese, who fires it over to Jackie first.
Jackie's teammates immediately rushed over, furious at what had happened. They wanted retaliation right away. But surprisingly, Jackie stopped them. Instead of escalating the fight, he told his teammates to forget about the incident and focus on beating the Cardinals through the game itself. And in the end, that is exactly what happened. The Dodgers eventually won and advanced to the World Series against the New York Yankees. But more importantly, Jackie Robinson had survived an entire season of hatred, violence, and humiliation while becoming a symbol of change in American sports. Within just 1 year, Jackie had gone from being treated like an outsider to becoming one of baseball's biggest stars. By the end of the season, even white children were lining up to ask for his autograph. Jackie Robinson became a respected figure across the country. In his rookie season, he won Rookie of the Year. In 1955, he helped lead the Dodgers to a World Series championship by defeating the powerful Yankees. Then in 1962, he was officially inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Today, every April, every player in Major League Baseball wears the number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson's legacy. His number remains the only jersey number permanently retired across the entire sport. As for Ben Chapman, he was fired by the Phillies in 1948 and never managed another major team again. That same year, Branch Rickey also sent Dixie Walker away to the Pittsburgh Pirates, the small club he often used as his personal dumping ground for problem players. So, the moral of the story is sometimes the strongest people are the ones who suffer in silence, just to change the world for others.